The movie begins with Prince Philip's wedding. It is a grand and elegant event, filled with important guests, fancy decorations, and cameras flashing everywhere. But while the world focuses on the celebration, something else is happening quietly in the background. The wedding becomes the perfect setting for the tense and uncomfortable relationship between Alex and Henry to show itself. Alex does not get along with Henry, and during the wedding, their issues start to come out. Later, Alex talks to his close friend Nora. He tells her the real reason he feels angry and uneasy whenever Henry is around. The problem, Alex says, is not just Henry himself, it's the way the media treats them. The media always compares Alex to Henry. Reporters call Alex the American Henry, and that bothers him a lot. Alex feels this comparison is unfair. He believes he is more friendly, more charming, and easier to connect with than Henry. He thinks he has a brighter personality. So when people say he is just like Henry, it feels like an insult. These constant comparisons are the root of the tension between them. At the wedding reception, Henry takes a moment to teach Alex some proper, royal manners. It seems like a harmless lesson about etiquette, but things go wrong very quickly. What starts as a small moment becomes something much bigger. A little argument leads to a bigger misunderstanding, and that ends in a clumsy accident. They accidentally knock over a huge and very expensive cake. The cake is worth £75,000, not in weight but in money. It is a luxury cake made for the royal event, and it comes crashing down right on top of both of them. The cake spills all over their suits, and the entire room watches in shock. Soon after, the story spreads everywhere. The media picks it up fast. Photos and videos of the cake disaster are all over the news and social media. Reporters create a story that Alex and Henry are enemies. They say the cake accident is the final proof of how much the two dislike each other. The wedding becomes known not for the celebration, but for this messy and embarrassing moment. To fix the damage and calm the public, Alex and Henry are told to spend a weekend together. They must act like they are close friends. They have to take photos together, smile, and show the world that they get along. They're expected to look like they care about each other, even if they don't. During this weekend, something unexpected happens. Alex watches Henry closely and starts to see him differently. One special moment changes everything. Alex sees Henry talking gently with a young girl who has cancer. Henry speaks with honesty, kindness, and warmth. That moment surprises Alex. He realizes Henry is not what he thought. Henry is deeper, softer, and more caring than he believed. This interaction has a deep effect on Alex. Seeing Henry speak kindly to the young girl leaves a strong impression. For the first time, Alex notices the gentle and caring side of Henry. It shows him that Henry is not just a stiff, royal figure, but someone with a real heart and compassion. Alex starts to feel differently, seeing Henry as a more complete person. But before Alex can say anything about his new understanding, something unexpected happens. A loud noise, which sounds like gunshots, breaks the calm atmosphere. The sound causes panic. Security guards act quickly. They rush over and move Alex and Henry into a nearby storage closet to keep them safe from any possible danger. As they sit together in the small, quiet space, Alex thinks about everything that has happened between them. From the very beginning, Alex has held a negative opinion of Henry. That bad feeling started from their very first meeting. During that early interaction, Henry came off as cold and unfriendly. It upset Alex because it happened on a very important day, his first public appearance. He had looked forward to that day for a long time, so Henry's rude behavior stuck with him. Since then, Alex has carried that bad memory and allowed it to shape how he sees Henry. Now inside the storage closet, the two finally talk openly. In a rare and honest moment, Henry apologizes. He admits he was wrong during their first meeting. Then he explains why he acted that way. At the time, Henry had just lost his father. He was filled with grief and pain, but didn't know how to talk about it. So instead of reaching out or showing emotion, he pulled away from people, including Alex. This explanation changes everything for Alex. Suddenly, Henry's past actions make more sense. What once seemed like arrogance or rudeness now feels like the result of sadness and personal loss. Hearing this makes Alex feel empathy for Henry. He sees him not just as a prince, but as a young man going through something very difficult. With this new understanding, the wall between them starts to fall. The old anger and confusion begin to fade away. They both speak honestly and listen to each other. The weekend, which started with fake smiles and awkward moments, now turns into something real. They let go of the past. They begin to form a true friendship based on trust and shared experiences. After the weekend ends, Alex and Henry keep in touch. Over the next few months, they text each other often. Their conversations become more personal and lively. Henry, who once held back his emotions, now expresses himself in a more colorful way. Instead of making jokes, he sends Alex bright and cheerful emojis. It's a small but clear sign that their bond is growing stronger. The story now moves to the annual New Year's Eve party. This event is hosted by Alex, his sister June, and their close friend Nora. Nora's grandfather is the vice president, which makes the gathering feel even more important and exciting. The party is full of laughter, music, and friendly energy. Everyone is enjoying themselves. Friends gather, the mood is light, and people feel relaxed. Among the guests are Henry and his best friend Pez. Pez comes along to enjoy the evening, but he also has a special interest in June. He likes her, and it's clear he's hoping to get to know her better during the night. The group celebrates together with fun and friendship filling the air. As the countdown to midnight begins, the room fills with excitement. When the clock strikes 12, people cheer and start kissing their partners or friends. It's a joyful, traditional moment. But then something happens that changes the mood for Henry. He sees Alex and Nora sharing a kiss. The sight hits him hard. Watching them kiss sparks jealousy in Henry. His feelings for Alex, which have been building quietly, suddenly feel stronger and harder to ignore. Overwhelmed and hurt, Henry decides to leave the party without saying much. He quietly slips away from the crowd. Alex notices Henry's sudden absence. Feeling concerned and a bit confused, he goes looking for him. He eventually finds Henry outside, standing alone in the garden. The night air is cold and the world feels still. There, in the quiet darkness, something surprising happens. Henry turns to Alex, moves closer, and kisses him. It's unexpected. It's gentle but full of emotion. This marks their first real intimate moment. The kiss leaves Alex completely shaken. He doesn't know what to think. For the rest of the night and the days that follow, he can't stop thinking about it. The kiss brings up deep emotions and questions that he has never faced so directly before. Alex finds himself struggling with what this moment means for him personally. Alex starts thinking about his past. He remembers that he once had a sexual relationship with a high school friend named Liam. He also remembers feeling attraction toward other men. But until now, he has never truly thought about what those experiences meant. He never saw himself as bisexual or tried to understand those feelings. The kiss with Henry brings everything to the surface. Now Alex begins to face a personal crisis. He's unsure of who he is and what he wants. His thoughts are filled with confusion, doubt, and curiosity. Needing someone to talk to, he turns to his trusted friend, Nora. He opens up to her, sharing everything he feels. He talks about the kiss, the jealousy, and the confusion about his own identity. It's a hard conversation, but an important one. Through this moment, Alex takes his first steps toward understanding himself more clearly. After Alex shares his confusion with Nora, she listens carefully and then offers her honest perspective. She gently reveals something that Alex didn't know. Henry identifies as gay. This new information gives Alex something more to think about. Nora also notices something important. She points out that Alex's emotions seem to be more than just confusion. She believes that Alex may already have real feelings for Henry, even if he hasn't fully realized it yet. Sometime later, during one of Henry's visits, Alex decides to act on what he's feeling. The two of them are spending time together when Alex leans in and shares an intimate kiss with Henry. He's aware that a security guard is nearby, so he tries to keep the moment quiet and subtle. But even in its quietness, the kiss feels real and meaningful. That kiss leads to something deeper. That same night, Alex and Henry take their connection further by becoming sexually intimate for the first time. It's a private moment that changes the way they see each other. However, afterward, Alex tries to keep things simple. He calls what they have a friends with benefits arrangement. He explains that their involvement is mostly physical and doesn't carry emotional weight. At least that's what he tells himself. After that night, Alex and Henry continue to meet whenever they get the chance. They secretly arrange times to be together, finding ways to spend time alone despite their busy lives. Their relationship becomes a mix of passion and secrecy, but it doesn't stop at physical moments. They also begin exchanging flirty emails filled with playful jokes and sweet words. In between those emails, they talk on the phone. During those calls, they often have honest, emotional conversations that bring them closer together. As time passes, something inside Alex starts to shift. What once felt casual begins to feel more serious. His feelings for Henry grow deeper. It's not just attraction anymore. It's something more emotional and more complicated. He starts to realize that he truly cares for Henry in a way he didn't expect. This is the start of Alex's journey toward understanding his heart and what he really wants from their relationship. However, things aren't simple. Alex's mother is running for re-election, which means everything he does is watched closely by the public and the media. On the other side, Henry is a member of the British royal family, where tradition and privacy are taken very seriously. Because of this, keeping their relationship a secret becomes incredibly important. They know that if anyone finds out, the consequences could affect their families, their personal lives, and even their futures. So even as their feelings grow stronger, they have to hide their connection from the world. Alex often turns to Senator Rafael Luna for advice. Luna is not only a trusted political mentor, but also a longtime family friend. Alex believes Luna's guidance will help with his mother's re-election campaign. He counts on Luna's experience and loyalty. But everything changes in an instant. One day, Luna shares shocking news. He has agreed to be the running mate for Jeffrey Richards, the opposing candidate. This announcement hits Alex and his family hard. They feel betrayed and confused. Luna's decision shakes their trust and adds stress during an already intense campaign. The news creates a storm of emotions for Alex, who never expected someone so close to suddenly switch sides. Seeing Alex upset, Henry travels to the Democratic National Convention to support him. His presence brings comfort during a difficult time. Henry doesn't try to fix everything. He simply shows up, stays by Alex's side, and offers quiet strength. It means a lot to Alex, but things become more complicated the next day. Zara, Ellen's chief of staff and a close family friend, accidentally sees Alex and Henry together. It's a moment that could ruin everything if made public. Luckily, Zara promises to keep their secret safe, at least until the convention is over. Her trust allows them to breathe a little easier. Soon after, Alex decides it's time to speak to his mother about the truth. He tells her that he's in a relationship with Henry. Her reaction is surprising. Instead of panicking, she responds with a PowerPoint presentation. It outlines the possible risks and public reaction to their relationship. She doesn't judge him. She supports him, but she also wants him to think carefully. She reminds him that this relationship could impact both their lives. She asks Alex to be absolutely sure about Henry and what their future might look like. Later, the family takes a trip to their lake house. It becomes an important moment in Alex's journey. Henry comes along, as do June, Nora, and Alex's father, Oscar. Surrounded by the people who matter most to him, Alex finds the courage to come out to his father. It's a big step, filled with emotion. That evening, Alex tries to open up to Henry. He wants to talk more about their relationship and share how deeply he feels. But something shifts. As Alex speaks, Henry's mood changes. His face becomes distant. He pulls away emotionally and won't continue the conversation. The moment, which starts with hope, ends in silence. The next morning, Alex wakes up to find that Henry is gone. He didn't say goodbye or explain why he left. The only thing left behind is a handwritten note. The sudden departure leaves Alex confused and heartbroken. The lake house retreat, which was supposed to bring everyone closer, now ends with more questions than answers. As time goes on, Henry stops reaching out as often. His messages become fewer and shorter. Alex begins to feel worried and hurt. The silence grows heavier each day, and the distance between them starts to feel real. Eventually, Alex decides he can't take the uncertainty anymore. He flies to London to see Henry face to face and get the answers he needs. When they finally meet in London, Henry explains why he's pulled away. He says he doesn't believe he can continue the relationship. As a member of the royal family, he has duties and traditions that make things complicated. He feels trapped by expectations and unsure how to make room for love in his royal life. But even as he says this, their emotions take over. In the middle of all the tension, they end up being intimate again. Afterward, both of them are left wondering, was this their final goodbye? Or the start of something new? The moment is filled with uncertainty. But then Henry gives Alex something deeply personal. His signet ring. It's a meaningful gesture. Henry says he wants to be with Alex, even though it's difficult. This small but powerful act shows that his feelings are still strong. Even when they're apart, the connection between them doesn't fade. They continue writing passionate emails, pouring their thoughts and emotions into every word. These letters keep their bond alive across the miles. One night, they reunite for a quiet, beautiful dance at the V&A Museum in London. The moment is tender and meaningful. It shows that they're both serious about fixing what's broken and staying connected. But their peace doesn't last long. More challenges quickly come their way. One of the biggest shocks happens when their private emails are suddenly made public. The messages, filled with personal words and emotions, are leaked to the media. The story spreads fast. The likely person behind the leak is Miguel, who may have betrayed their trust. Because of the scandal, their team step in to manage the damage. Communication between Alex and Henry is completely cut off. They're not allowed to call, text, or even send a message. Alex, now back in the United States, feels helpless. and frustrated, Henry, still in England, faces the same silence. Both of them want to talk, but they are blocked from reaching each other. Then comes a surprising twist. During a live television interview, Miguel is asked a strange question. Inamura, how did he manage to read all 72 private emails and write an article so quickly after the leak? The question puts him on the spot. It suggests that something doesn't add up. The moment raises doubt about Miguel's actions and hints at the truth behind the leak. This unexpected turn might change everything and lead to a new chance for Alex and Henry. The questions raised during the live interview strongly suggest that Miguel is involved in the email leak. The way he quickly read through all 72 private emails and wrote an article right after makes people suspicious. It doesn't seem possible without help, and the timing points directly at him. This line of questioning shines a light on his possible betrayal, making others doubt his intentions. As the situation grows more serious, Alex decides to take action. He chooses to speak out publicly. He makes a formal statement about his relationship with Henry. He doesn't hide the truth or run from it. Instead, he addresses the situation with honesty and courage. By doing this, Alex hopes to take control of the narrative and stand up for their relationship. His words send a clear message to the world. Their feelings are real. At the same time, Henry is dealing with his own set of challenges in London. He returns to Buckingham Palace, where he walks into a storm of judgment and pressure. His brother, Prince Philip, is one of the first to criticize him. Their conversation is tense. Philip is not supportive and makes it clear that he thinks Henry's actions have created problems for the royal family. On top of that, Henry also meets with royal advisors. These officials try to guide him through the situation, offering advice on how to manage the public scandal. They want to protect the royal image. Their focus is on tradition, privacy, and control. But Henry feels torn. He wants to respect his role, yet he also wants to be with Alex. The pressure grows heavier with every conversation. Despite everything, the time apart doesn't last forever. Behind the scenes, something unexpected helps bring them back together. Zara, Alex's mother's chief of staff, has a romantic relationship with Sean, who is part of Henry's royal security team. Their relationship is a secret, just like Alex and Henry's once was. Because of their closeness, Zara and Sean make a smart decision. They keep special phones just for emergency communication. They know how important it is to stay in touch during difficult times. This hidden connection, something no one would have guessed, turns out to be the lifeline Alex and Henry need. Thanks to Zara and Sean, Alex and Henry are finally able to reconnect. The silence that once felt impossible to break is now gone. They can talk again, hear each other's voices, and share their thoughts without fear. The gap caused by the leak of their private messages slowly begins to close. This reconnection brings hope back into their lives. It reminds them that even in the middle of public scandal, royal pressure, and media attention, their bond is still strong. Their path may be complicated, but with help from the people who truly care about them, they begin to find their way back to each other. Alex and Henry finally sit down for a real conversation. During this talk, Alex shares some important news. He's planning to visit London soon. The moment feels calm and hopeful. Both of them seem ready to reconnect in a deeper way. Once Alex arrives, they spend a beautiful day together. They sit at a piano, playing music and laughing, feeling close and relaxed. After this touching moment, they head to Buckingham Palace with their friend Bee. The purpose of their visit is serious. They're going to meet King James III. Inside the palace, the meeting begins. King James does not avoid the topic. He tells them openly that he's read the emails exchanged between Henry and Alex. Instead of scolding them, he calmly states what he believes. The two of them are clearly in love. His voice is steady and his words carry weight. However, King James also reminds Henry of his duty. As a prince, Henry has responsibilities. His grandfather explains that the royal family must maintain a traditional and proper public image. He believes that part of that image does not include a prince in a public, same-sex relationship. Alex and Henry ask why this image is still needed. Why must love be hidden? King James answers that he thinks the British public may not be ready to accept a gay prince. He says it could cause problems for the royal family's reputation. Then something surprising happens. Outside the palace, a huge crowd begins to gather. Bee informs everyone that similar crowds are gathering in other major cities: Birmingham, Manchester, Sheffield, Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Liverpool. These people aren't protesting. They're showing support for Henry and Alex's relationship. They're standing together in public, holding signs and cheering. This moment directly challenges what King James just said. The support from across the country proves that people are ready. The king's reason no longer seems valid. Henry takes a deep breath and stands firm. He tells his grandfather that he refuses to live in shame. He won't keep his love for Alex a secret. King James listens but reminds Henry to think carefully. He warns that once this choice is made, it cannot be undone. Henry replies with quiet strength. He says he hopes there will be no regrets. Together, Henry and Alex step outside the palace. Hand in hand, they walk toward the cheering crowd. The people welcome them with joy and open hearts. A week later, Henry and Alex are in Washington, D.C. They're waiting nervously for the results of the electoral vote. The outcome will decide whether Alex's mother, Ellen Claremont, wins a second term as president. The tension is high. Henry stays by Alex's side, offering comfort. Finally, the news arrives. Ellen has won Texas, which secures her victory. She is re-elected. Joy fills the room. Later during the celebration, Alex smiles and asks Henry if he still has the key to his house in Texas. The last scene shows them returning to Texas together, walking into Alex's home, ready to build their life side by side. Thank you for watching.